what's up? It's Kendrick, aka Chug Rock. What I want to talk about in this message right now, I want to talk about how sexual immorality only applies to those who are raping someone, homosexuality, lesbianism, you know, you know what I'm saying? It's not talking about people that's consensual and having sex with one another. You know, there's not necessarily in a relationship with one another. They had a wedding, you know, or some sort, you know. It's not talking about that. Sexual immorality is raping, homosexuality, adultery, you know, lesbianism. You know what I'm saying? You know, homosexuality is sexual immorality. Lesbianism is sexual immorality. Adultery is sexual immorality. You know, raping is sexual immorality. You know, so what you've been taught is a lie. Because look at it, you know, why would it be wrong? You know, it will not send you to hell because, you know, a man and a woman are supposed to be together, you know, and sexually, you know, whether they in a covenant of a relationship or not, you know. So by you saying that, you know, it's wrong, that's a contradiction, you know, of saying a man and a woman are supposed to be together sexually. You know, how you gonna say a man's supposed to be with a woman sexually, but only saying if it's in a covenant of a marriage? How you gonna do that? If it's natural for a woman to have sex with a man, it's natural in general. It's either natural or it's not. It can't be a double-edged sword, two-edged sword. You know, at the same time, it's wrong and it's not. No, that don't make sense. You know, that's why I left religion, because religion pushes that it's wrong. Christianity pushes that consensual sex with a person that you're not in a relationship, in a marriage relationship, wrong. You know, Islam pushed that. You know, I'm far beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Hell with all that religious shit. You know what I'm saying? Hell with all that. You know, it's time to wake up, y'all. It's time to use y'all common sense the right way, like it's supposed to be used. Cause y'all, a lot of y'all out there don't use y'all common sense because y'all still religious. You know, I said in one of my videos that religion ain't no good for the people. It ain't no good for humanity. You know what I'm saying? It's no good. If you know what I'm saying, it's no good. You know? So, I suggest y'all leave religion. Y'all can stay in it, but in my humble opinion, y'all should leave religion. You know, even if it's good for you, but you can still stay. Stay if it's good for you, but I'm just telling you what's real, you know. But at the same time, you know, I want people to be smart, you know. I don't want people to stay in religion, you know. You heard me? You know? So, y'all be mindful, you know. Be mindful of what y'all talking about. Meaning, be careful of what y'all talking about, what y'all saying. Because a lot of stuff y'all be saying, some of the stuff y'all be saying don't even be making sense. Y'all religious people, you know. It don't. So, I'm here to clear all this garbage up about religion and stuff. I'm anti-religion. This is an anti-religion channel. You know, this is a religion killer channel. You know what I'm saying? You know, here on my page on YouTube and all my other social media platforms. You know, I'm anti-religion. I hate religion. You know, I hate being a part of religion. Religion is stupid, you know. I'm against it. I'm totally against religion, you know. So yeah, y'all need to use common sense. Use common sense. Not no Bible, not no Quran, not no religious book. Use common sense first, you know. You know, before you run to a book, a religious book, you know, that'll give you an answer. Yes, religion might have a lot of truth in it, but it's not the full truth. You want the full truth, you know. You don't want to be dumb in no aspects if you can be smarter, you know. You don't want like no smartness, you know. You don't want to be ignorant in nothing. You want to be as smart as possible while you're here, you know. Learning is fun. Learning is you know, is key to life. You know, wisdom. You know, attain wisdom. You know. So I suggest y'all, you know, to get more understanding of life. Why would sex, consensual sex, be prohibited in God's eyes or the God's eyes? Who created? Why would they be worrying about that? You know, why would they send you to hell? Think about that. Why would they send you to hell? You know what I'm saying? If two men, if two people that's the opposite sex supposed to be having sex together anyway. You know. And plus, I never read in the Bible where it says if two people are sent is of the opposite sex and they ain't got married to each other, they commit an abomination or they commit sin. I haven't read that in the Bible, but I read in the Bible where if a man took a damsel and lay with her, and she was found a virgin, that became his woman, meaning he had sex with her first, meaning the sex was all right. And you know, the Bible never said that he should have. If a man take on a woman, she should take her to the altar. No, it was totally opposite. It was actually vice versa. They did the sexual act first and then took them to the council. No, it was the total opposite. So I don't know where this thing where sex before marriage is a sin. I don't know where they come from. You know. Actually, I know where it come from. It actually come from man, but I don't know who started that. I don't know what man in history started the idiotic doctrine. You know. And I'm sorry to tell you, whoever started it was an idiot because they don't know what they're talking about. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm being mean, but you know, I'm just being real at the same time. You know, the truth may hurt, but I like the truth. I'm not a liar. I'm a man of truth, honesty, wisdom, knowledge. You know, so I got to put it out there. It doesn't make any sense. You know, the Bible contradicts sex before marriage is a sin, actually. Because men was practicing sex before marriage in the Bible. So I don't know why y'all get that. Where y'all get that from? Where humanity get that from? What did religion get that from? Like Christianity and most specifically Islam. I don't know where they come from. That you had to have a wedding ceremony up and make that your woman, or if you don't do outside of that is the sin. I don't know where they come from. When I have not read them, know in the Bible. See, I was brainwashed. I was being told, see, I didn't think outside of the box. When I woke up and think outside, the spirit of knowledge came to me when I was sitting down, and then I erased all the things that I've been taught, you know, and start realizing, or some of the things I've been taught, and start realizing that it was false. Then I had to program myself and, you know, educate myself back to the truth. Educate myself to the truth. So, by y'all believing in this nonsense, you know, this fairy tale doctrine that sex is wrong if you ain't in a relationship, you know, husband and a wife relationship, nah, that ain't true. You know, it's not biblical, and it sure don't make sense in the real world. You know, people gonna have sex and people gonna get head. People gonna do all kinds of freaky stuff. That's part of life. You know, wake up and smell a coffee. You know, Ain't nobody going to hell for that. You know, that's stupid. You know, that's another stupid religious doctrine that's pushed. And I'm here to kill it. Y'all be cool.